Hello friends, you are watching C programming tutorial classes brought to you by Ankpro training. Hello friends, until the last video we have learned so many C programming concepts. Almost we have learned all the concepts in C language, and from this video we will be learning some advanced level topics, and one of them is dangling pointer. So before watching this video, make sure that you know everything about pointer. What's a pointer, how it works, and what is the use of pointers in C language. If you don't know anything about pointer, I suggest you to please go and watch our videos on pointer, which are already there in this playlist. So let me remind you, a pointer is also a variable, but it is a special variable. Pointer contains the address of other variable. Alright, so pointer is a reference type. It always points to the memory location of a variable. Right, say if I have a pointer called ptr, I must store the address of the variable inside ptr, and the variable of which the address is being stored in the pointer should be of the same type of pointer. I mean, the same type of pointer should point to the same type of variable. A dangling pointer is a pointer that does not point to a valid memory location. So normally pointer points to the memory location or the variable, but the dangling pointer doesn't. Right? So dangling pointer arises when a variable is deleted without modifying the value of the pointer, so that the pointer still points to the memory location of the deleted memory. Say in a program you are pointing to the variable using the pointer variable, and if you're not modifying the content of the pointer, I mean you are not making the pointer to not point to the variable even after the variable that is pointed by the pointer is deleted, then you can call that pointer as the dangling pointer. I mean if the pointer is still pointing to the memory which doesn't exist at all, or the pointer is pointing to the variable which has been deleted, then you can call that pointer as a dangling pointer. In short, pointer point to non-existing memory location is called dangling pointer. Okay, so let us understand this with an example. Here is a simple main program. Here I have declared the pointer of type int. This means this pointer can only point to the variable which is of type int. Okay, so inside the main function I have created one block. So this pair of curly braces indicates the one block is created inside the main of. So that means whatever I put inside this block, this is called the inner block, will be local to this block. That means the variables or a strings or whatever you declare inside this local block will not be accessible from anywhere in the void main function or anywhere out of the main function. That means they are only accessible inside this local block. They are not accessible outside the outside this block, right? Nowhere in the main of function, or nowhere in any function, right? So here I have created one local variable which is local to this block. It is x and it is initialized with 5. Okay, and now I am using this pointer to store the address of x. So ampersand x return the address of x which is stored in ptr. Since ptr is the variable pointer variable declared in void main function, it can have the access in all the blocks that are present in the main function, right? So this pointer ptr variable is accessible throughout the main function, but this x has the scope only inside this block, right? So ptr can access x because this block is coming inside main, right? So ptr can truly hold the address of x. If I print the address of x, and it is fully valid, right? It is valid in this block, but when I use the pointer variable outside this block to print the address, it is not possible, right? So it is still print the value, Of course, it will print the value address of x is some value, but it is not correct because it is pointing to the variable which doesn't exist in the scope. Because whenever the control comes out of this block, this variable will be destroyed because this is a local variable. It has scope only until this closing bracket, right? Whenever you try to access x, it doesn't exist out of this block, right? So that's why it is not fully valid, because in this case a pointer is pointing to the variable which doesn't really exist in the case of outside of this block, right? This is like saying for a variable which is not there at all, right? So as soon as the control comes out of this block, x gets destroyed, right? So placing this statement inside this block is valid, that's okay, that's fine, but outside the block is not okay, it's not good, right? So let us run this program and see the result by ourselves. So here is that program demonstrating the dangling pointer. So let me run this program. First we'll check the output, control F9. So address of x is triple F2 and x equals to 5. Okay, that's fine. When I print this statement outside the main, let's see what happens. So copy this, control insert and paste here. So I'm just printing the address, right? So I'll comment this. Okay, control F9. See, I got an error here because undefined symbol x. That means x is not valid to access outside this block. It is not defined in the context of main, but it is defined in the context of this block, right? So that is why I can't access the x, but I still print the value of PTR. That means the address pointing by the variable PTR, right? Control F9. See, I can still print the value because the pointer variable is still pointing to the variable x and it holds the address of x, but x doesn't exist here, right? So that is what the problem we have. So after this after the execution of this block, the pointer variable which has triple F4 points to the variable of x which contains 5. Whenever you get out of this block, x gets destroyed, right? Let me show you another example where we can encounter dangling pointer. So here I've got a main function where I declared a pointer p and I made a function call to the function fun here, right? So in this function it has x, a normal variable, and this function is returning the reference of x, I mean the address of x. So that is going to be stored in pointer p, which is again a dangling pointer because this x is exists only in this function, right? After the function is being called, x really gets destroyed, right? So the validity or the scope of x is only inside this function, not outside this function, right? Whenever you move further writing this program, you might get some undesired results. Okay, now let's understand what are the causes of dangling pointer. Segmentation faults when the memory is no longer accessible, right? Indirectly program will affect by this fault. It means whenever you compile a function or any program, some memory will be allocated for that function, and that memory is partitioned into two parts. One is free memory and other part is allocated memory. So this is the entire memory is for your function, and a part of program is allocated for the variables, arrays, strings, and instances, okay, whatever you call, and the other part of memory is free. So you are going to be utilize this memory whenever you initialize the variable. Whenever you declare the variables, the memory is reserved but not allocated. Whenever you store the content inside the variables, the memory is really allocated, right? So and you will get some free memory until you initialize the variable, right? So when the array is deleted, which is being pointed by the pointer, that memory will go inside the free memory, right? So that will become the part of free memory because you have been deleted the variable and that is no longer be used, and that will be free now, and that will become the part of free memory. If you're still pointing to that memory block which is part of free memory, that is called a segmentation fault, right? And you will get the unpredictable behavior if the memory is accessed. If you're going to deal with that memory location further, you will get some garbage value printed out. And potential security risks also, because as far as I think, pointers are not good with respect to security issues, because using pointer anybody can access to any memory location of the programs, and especially when the dangling pointer, you may expect the security risks as well. So this is a short video of dangling pointer. Please stay tuned for more videos. Well friends, that's it for the class. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our page on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and join our group on LinkedIn. Thank you.